which is kind of cool. I'm still a little baby in this acting game.
And you're killing it.
Thank you. So it's really exciting. Yeah, I literally just started taking my first on-camera class 2 weeks ago.
Wow, how is that going?
I put it in my story, a scene from my class, and people were like, "I can't believe you. This is where you're at already." And I'm just like, "Thanks."
You were born for this. You were meant
living
for
in my
it.
purpose.
You are.
Who knew? But in Virginia. I was a preschool teacher prior to moving out here.
What?
So I worked with the Head Start program.
Oh my gosh.
And then afternoons, I would be a part of like the after school care. So it was a whole different world.
Wow.
Prior to me moving out here, like to become like a full-time artist.
So you can handle a bunch of kids.
My God. 16 4-year-olds.
16
per class.
4-year-olds. They must have had you running around rampant.
Oh my God. But it was so much fun. I loved my babies.
I love kids
But this
too.
is so much better because I get paid more.
Per, literally. So, okay. So you're in acting, you're doing your thing. What's been like, I guess, the hardest part about it and the best part about it?
Ooh, the hardest part. I guess the hardest part is literally the mental health sides of things. Like I call it getting back on the horse because you fall off of it so often. Like last year alone, before Mike even came out, I think I got pinned for like 5 or 6 projects. And being pinned, it's like you go through the audition process, you do the callback, you do the director session. And then when they really like you and you're about to get the job, they pin you. So they're like, here are the dates. And then in your head, you're like formulating like, oh, what am I going to spend my money on? So I literally got pinned for like a bunch of other projects for Netflix, Hulu, and HBO. And then I didn't get them.
Dang.
Didn't get
That's
them.
hard.
It was crazy. And I literally just had to like be like, okay, you didn't get these. Everything happens for a reason. I know there's a greater purpose. You pick myself up, get back on the horse, audition again.
Right.
Some people, they can't do that. Like you
At all.
Especially once you make it that far in the audition process, because you've literally spent like weeks, sometimes months, auditioning, and you finally get to the end and you get pinned and you're like, oh, it's mine. Like I finally did it. And then to find out it's not yours, it's really humbling.
Speaking of, I've been through that process.
Yeah.
A couple years ago, I got to the director's screening for a pilot.
Congrats.
Thank you. And I
those
got
are wins too. We have to celebrate those.
Right.
We have to learn to celebrate
That's amazing
those.
because like how many people get to that last like director's screening? Like I did a chemistry read with another celebrity actor. I can't remember his name right now. He was on 30 Rock, a bunch of other things. I got to do a chemistry read with him, and it was in the middle of COVID, so we did this off Zoom, and like and then they just didn't greenlit the show. Like they just didn't even go to like
actually filming it.
Yeah. So I'm just like, dang. But if they ever want to bring it back, I'm available, guys.
Right. Still slaying, still ready.
Still ready.
Yeah, it's a tough business, man.
So for someone who's like trying to move to LA and like they want to know more about this, right? Like you've been to the very beginning and you're
Yes.
and you're slaying it now. Like what's a typical, like how much do people get paid for like a role like that, a TV show role or a movie role? Like what do people?
It varies, honestly. It depends, like honestly, if you have like a good business partner. I know some people don't have like representation, they'll just have like business partners that negotiate for them. But ultimately for actors, our managers or our agents will negotiate our wages. For guest stars, it can vary. Like it could be like 1,000 something a day to like 4,000 a day. I've heard people get like 10,000 a day. So it honestly varies.
Okay. And like you say that some weeks you have nothing going on. So do you feel like when you do get paid for a role, an actual paid role, not just auditioning, do you feel like you need to like manage that? Like, do you think I need to live off this for like the next 3 months or something like that, just in case? Like, how do you do?
I wish I was that responsible. Shot in the back of my head, I'm always like, I'm gonna book something else. So let me just go spend this. Like, let me go spend this real quick. I'm gonna book something tomorrow, right?
Okay.
So I try to live with confidence, but it also could be delusion. Sometimes I'm just like,
I love delusion.
I'm like, oh my God, did I just fail this test again, God? I thought you were gonna give me the book in, so I just went ahead and spent it. I'm sorry.
Oh my my gosh. Okay, I have another really good question for you, BJ, because I've been wondering about this, and I know everybody else is too. As a gay Black man living in LA auditioning, you play straight roles. So what's that like? What's that code switch like? Like, how do you get into character? Like, how are you so good at playing straight?
I think I'm terrible at playing straight.
I believed it.
So when I book straight things, the first thing I'm thinking is, what were these straight boys doing in this audition? Because I feel like I see all the tells in myself. I'm just like, it's stressful.
Yes.
It's not. I'm not gonna say it's not fun, because it is really rewarding, and that's the whole point of being an actor. You're a canvas. You should be able. Not everyone should have to tell other stories, but I think that's like the ultimate goal for most actors, is to show their versatility and their range. For me, it is stressful because I do have to like really focus, like lowering my voice, pulling back on some of my really big expressions, or finding new ways to channel those expressions in a more masculine manner. So it definitely takes a lot of effort. I wish I had more gay opportunities, honestly.
Okay.
I think that would be lit, because then I would just be really playing more.
Yeah.
But also, I do love being an artist. I do love being a canvas. And I just thought it was super iconic last year. Like when Mike came out, I also had my Ulta Beauty campaign that came out at the same time. And I was just like, yeah, this is exactly the life I want to live. I want to show you that I will give you an award-winning performance as a hyper-masculine boxer, but I'm also going to beat this face and sell this makeup to you.
You're versatile.
Duh.
Yes, I love it. And that gives you so many opportunities to do a bunch of different things. You can play gay, you can play straight, you can do makeup, you can do be a boxer. Like so many different things.
So many different things.
I love that.
What is your like main goal? Because I feel like both of us do have similar goals with the facility we were given from God. Like we both have very interesting backgrounds in a world that doesn't necessarily already celebrate us on camera. Mm-hmm. So like, what's your ultimate goal?
Okay, so my core goal has never changed, but my avenues have changed. Okay. So I want to impact the youth, especially in a positive manner. When I was growing up, I didn't see anybody that looked like me on TV or in magazines. So I'm become that representation for other girls who are bigger, darker skin, from towns that people that they're surrounded by fat phobia, and like people just telling them they can't do something because of the way they look, or they can't date a high value man, a 7-figure man, because you're fat and you're dark. People tell me that all the time. I get trolled all the time. Like people, they're obsessed with me. The men are obsessed.
The trolls are obsessed too.
They're obsessed. Yeah.
They're like they just want your attention.
Literally.
It's really sad.
It's really sad.
Like you could have just been nice. I would have said something nice back to you. Like
literally.
Thank you, not interested, or thank you for that.
Literally. And so I would say, so I have 3 goals going into this industry, and so my 3 goals, and it has changed, but I'll tell you what it was at first. My 3 goals: be a series regular on a hit TV show.
Coming.
Have 100 million streams on Spotify for my music.
Coming.
And have a billboard in Times Square, which I already crossed off my list last year.
I know, you already did that. That's so sick.
Yeah, so I know that those are coming. And now that my avenues have shifted a little bit, and now I've become a voice to the people. And I don't know how this happened, but they literally do not know how this happened. But basically, I went viral for my TikToks about dating high value man, 6-figure man, whatever. I honestly, when I just be talking, like I don't think about it. I'm just like talking from my point of view, from my truth, from my perspective.
Right.
Did I think that everybody would be so shocked, inspired, and the awe factor would come out of me just literally speaking about my dating life, my true life?
I have such a question about this.
Okay.
Please. Okay. So what was the first day you found out it went viral? Like, who was the first person to tell you? Did you log on and you found it yourself? Like, can you walk us through that? Because that must be so insane, just doing this TikTok, and then it's on all these huge media outlets. And what was the first media outlet you saw it on?
That's a really
'Cause
interesting.
I'm so curious.
Yes. Okay. So that's like a really interesting question because I went viral multiple times
For the same video.
for this. Well, no, for different videos.
Okay, okay.
So I like World Star posted me 4 times for 4 different videos.
Okay.
Which, okay, so I'm not really into like Twitter, but Black Twitter was lighting my ass up apparently, and I wasn't on there. I wasn't, but I'm not on Twitter. So people are telling me on TikTok, girl, they're lighting you up on Twitter. Black Twitter's going crazy. I'm like, well, I've never been on Black Twitter, so I don't even know what that's like.
As if it's meant to be, then it'll be a love song.